everybody, I'm Jimmy.
I'm Melissa and we're the Traveling Tomlinsons.
Today we're going to talk about work camping and is it really worth it?
So recently we were chosen to do a collaboration video with another full-time RVing couple, Drivin and Vibin. They are really awesome. They have their own YouTube channel and very successful. If you don't subscribe to their channel, we really suggest
Highly recommend it.
So doing that video kind of inspired us to do a more detailed video about our experience with work camping.
We're currently work camping on Lake Ouachita, just outside of Hot Springs, Arkansas. For the Corps Engineers at Brady Mountain. So I guess we should start by what is work camping?
Well, work camping is trading labor or services for either a free site or a wage, sometimes both.
Sometimes both.
In our case, it's both, so yay us. But seriously, there are other positions where you may just get a free site. We decided to work camp because we live full-time in our RV since 2016. Jimmy is a musician who plays on weekends, so we had a lot of free time during the week. And we pretty much stay around the Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas area so he can get to his gigs. And we love Corps of Engineer campgrounds.
We've always stayed at it.
Yeah, we love the nature much more than say an RV park. Those are more concrete pads and everything's concrete and they're fine. We're not knocking them, but our preference is Corps of Engineer parks, state parks. Then we got to know the camp hosts.
Yeah, we've been staying at the Corps Engineer campgrounds, got to know a lot of people at the campgrounds. In fact, one of the first couples that we met on the first day of our full timing are the people that actually turned us, that led us in this direction to get this job, and we're very thankful for that.
Yeah, they over time they got to know us and they learned our schedule and they just suggested it may be a good fit for us because there were schedules that would fit in with our schedule. So we thought about it and decided why not?
Perfect fit for our schedule.
Yeah.
I'm working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so Sunday through Wednesday was the job and we were on board.
Yeah, and that's our schedule. We work Sunday through Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., which really doesn't tell the whole truth about it because there's more hours than that you put in. And we'll get into the job duties and what we do specifically in just a minute, but just letting you know up front, just because the specific hours that you work in the fee booth for this particular job are 12 to 8 does not mean it's not like going to a 9-to-5 job where you clock in at 12 and you clock out at 8. And I guess to explain that more, we are contracted to do this job with the government. So this is not a employer-employee type situation. We had to put in a bid for the job and they decide whether they accept our bid, and the bid was how much we wanted to get paid per day, and they accepted our bid, thank goodness. But the application process was a little much for me. I'd never filled out an application to do contracted work for the government, and if you hadn't, it can be trying. But we did, and we did get through it with a little bit of help. We had to get DUNS numbers because you are your own business. You are Dun and
Bradstreet. To get a cage code from SAMS.gov. It was a lot of red tape, and it all had to be perfect and match completely.
Yeah, all your I's have to be dotted, your T's have to be crossed, and even
capitalizing, that was ours. Yep. I didn't capitalize a T on one side that I did on the other, and that set us back a bit.
You have to go do this step first so that you can go on to this step and get this code. They communicate and look at the applications for both entities, and if there's any discrepancies, like he said, a capital T set us back some. It's not going to go through with any discrepancies. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention and to all the details, even things that you might think wouldn't matter, they matter in this application process. And beyond that, we had to get bonded because we do handle money. And we also had to increase
our insurance,
our car insurance, because we use our vehicle to drive around the park. I was trying to think other things that may have to be done for this job. For instance, we're wearing our brown. We're allowed to wear any shade of brown as our uniform, and that includes tops, bottoms.
Yeah.
They really wanted us to wear brown shoes too, but they've laxed off that at this field office because it was so difficult for people to find comfortable brown shoes. So we are allowed to wear tennis shoes or whatever shoe, a closed-toed shoe. So you had to purchase clothes that you can wear. You have to provide the bank for the cash drawer. And obviously that goes back into your pocket. It's kind of just on hold while you're working. We have to order name tags.
So yes, there are some expenses for you.
On the front end side, but that's because you're contracted with the government. You're not an employee, so it's like running your own business. We have our own fee booth collector business. That's the application process, which can be a little
much harder than the job for us.
A little nerve-wracking for us, just because we've never done any kind of contracting work with the government, but it worked out. And our season we work is May 1st through September 25th, and we get a free site, and we get a wage. What we bid, they accepted per day, and we get paid. We'll get a check once a month for that.
They did tell me, like when we started, they let me know the prior bids, so I had an idea in the ballpark of what the bids could be.
Yeah, what they not necessarily what other camp hosts were bidding this year, but just to give us an idea, because we were so clueless, what in previous years camp hosts had bid. So that gave us an idea. Us never having done this before, we kind of bid a little bit under what they were bidding, because we know the camp hosts that they were sharing that information about have done this for years and years and years and years. So we didn't want to walk in and as brand new work campers and never being a fee booth collector with the highest bid, or one even the same as everyone else that have done this for 9, 10 or more years. I guess we should talk about what our job entails. So what are our job duties?
Our job duties, well, we start our day driving around the park and checking all the sites, making sure that the people that are supposed to be here are here, and if there's anybody new here, then we mark them down and make sure we get them registered and get them up to the booth to pay.
And updating the poles at the campsite that marks the campsite number. At this particular park, they have a reservation sleeve over it, so it'll tell you the next reservation coming in on that site, so we have to make sure those are updated and the proper dates are on there.
Just monitor all the traffic, every bit of it that comes in and out.
We handle all the money, so anyone that comes in and pays and doesn't make a reservation and pay online, they pay through us. And then we make sure that that money balances out with the paperwork at the end of the day and also at the end of the week. Another thing, because we are contractors, you do at the end of the week have to take the money that was made that week and go get either a cashier's check or a money order and mail that in for the Corps of Engineers. we've really thoroughly enjoyed it so far, and we definitely will be doing this in the future. I think our plans are to travel, so this may be part of what enables us to be able to do that. And when I say travel, we have traveled around the Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas area to death. So, I mean, like, to death. We have traveled.
We know the area.
Big time. So, we're ready for new places and new experiences, and work camping is a good way to help finance that.
Now, if you're trying to break this down at an hourly, like what you're making per hour, it's not what it's about. It's because we're putting in 10 hours or more a day, and it's not about that. And if it's about that, then work camping might not be for you.
Or maybe this position. You may find a work camping position that would pay more. Or we are honestly doing this for the experience. We had the available time, and we thought, you know, earning a little money in that available time didn't hurt. We're going to be on the campgrounds anyway. It was a good decision for us, and it's been a great experience. We have met people, other camp hosts, and even campers that will probably be lifelong friends of ours. We meet new people every day, all day.
People bring us dinner over here at the shack.
At the fee booth. He calls it the shack. It's the fee booth.
You know, this slang.
But yeah, that experience of getting to know everyone in the park has been really cool. We really enjoy that. Getting the check, like I said, in a free site.
We hear all the dirt too behind the scenes from the, what's going on. Stuff we never would have known had we just been camping here.
We say dirt. It's not necessarily all bad stuff. We just get
just
kind of insider information of what's going on in the park that we wouldn't otherwise know. Yeah. So that's really neat. And even the rangers and other camp hosts, campers, like I said, we've made lifelong friends doing it. So that alone for us has made this experience worth it, I think. There are some challenges, but it's not anything that would stop us from doing it. And the challenges, like I said, probably the application process. We don't get great cell or internet service here, and that is a big challenge for us. It's not stopping us. We're still here, so it's obviously not a deal breaker for us. And that may be the experience in a lot of work camping positions, depending on where you're at, because so many campgrounds and places are so far out. But there's plenty that you can find that would have great internet cell service. That's just an issue we personally have at this particular job. It's just like any other job. For the most part, I would say 95% of the people that come through here are happy to be here. They're excited to be here. They're about to camp. And then, there's always the 5% or so of people that are not happy no matter what you do. So all you can do is just smile and maybe they, just don't hold on to that stuff from those kind of people, because it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to be there. Doing this with the dogs, that may be a question. So we happen to, and I'll try and get a shot of it and insert it in the video, but we are directly across the street from the fee booth, our campers. So for us, as hot as it's been, the dogs actually have wanted inside more than outside. So they stay in their bedroom, and then we come over. It's pretty relaxed, and as long as one of us are always in the fee booth, then one of us is able to go over and walk the dogs or let them outside in the kennel or whatever. Sometimes they stay, if it's a nice day or the morning time before it gets too hot, they'll stay in their kennel. And sometimes they call to us. You'll hear them barking on occasion. Like if they want your attention, they'll get it. We really think work camping is a great way to full-time RV, if it's something that you would like to do and you feel like you can't financially, it's definitely worth looking into to see if maybe it'll be a good fit for you. Like I said, this is just our personal experience. There are tons of work camping jobs.
Yeah, they aren't contracted for as long. There's just a
or not contracted at all.
Or not contracted at all.
You may be an employee, employer type situation in a lot of work camping positions. So if that's something you are interested in, we would suggest just doing your research, making sure whatever it is you're trying to gain from it, the job you're looking at or wanting to accept fits within what you need from the job. Another challenge I would say that I just thought of for us is just sitting still for so long. We have been full-time RVing for
2 years almost.
Almost 2 years, since November 2016. So
we'll call it 2.
So in that time, we've moved every 2 to 4 weeks. Really, I think we stayed one time in Northwest Arkansas for about 6 weeks in one spot. So that's kind of a challenge at this point. We've been here since the end of April. It's now towards the end of July, so we've been here about 3 months. And we're a little antsy. We're kind of ready to see the next place, but yeah, we have 2 more months to go. So that's being a little bit of a challenge, but that's just getting used to it because it's not what we've done for the last year and a half. If you want to work camp, the nice thing is you could pick where you want to go, what you want to see, and there's going to be work camping jobs there.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere, all across the country, and a lot of people are doing it. It doesn't really matter what your background is, but you can pull that, whatever experience you have, into that job. And you may be doing some jobs, some work camping jobs have different duties than ours. Some you may be a fee booth collector, but you also have to pick up trash or clean toilets, or we don't have to do that at this particular position. But it just goes back to saying all of them are different. So do your research and find out what the job duties are, where it is, how long is the position, what would you be getting paid, is it worth that, is it worth your time?
Check your cell service.
I can't really think of anything else to add.
For that, you know, there's different positions. We have people that, like, we get a wage here, and there are volunteers here that pick up the campground, and they get a free spot.
Well, we get a free spot and a wage.
Right.
And then they have what's called, we're contractors. Then they have what's called volunteers. Those volunteers just get a free site. But the difference is, they get to work whenever they want, as long as between 2 people they put in 20 hours a week. So if you go out and work 2 hours and it's 2 people, that's 4 hours towards your 20 hours a week. So you can meet that 20 hours a week really in a day or 2 if you really wanted to, and have the rest of the time off, free site. We just lucked out to be on Lake Washita because it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Pretty much any direction, when we walk out of the camper, we could go in any direction and there is lake. It's a huge lake. We recommend it if you're ever in Hot Springs especially, but even in Arkansas, to make a trip to Hot Springs to come see Lake Washita. There's a state park on Lake Washita. This Corps of Engineers field office has probably half a dozen or more campgrounds.
6 campgrounds
on Lake Washita. And it's just been a great experience. If you think you may be interested in looking for what work camping positions may be available with the Corps of Engineers, you can go check out www.corpslakes.us/volunteer, and they will have a list of all the available paid and volunteer positions.
We hope we've answered any questions you have about work camping, and if we haven't, please leave us a question below in the comment section or leave us a comment, and thank you very much.
Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up.
I'm sorry.
Visitor. Hi,
We have-
Athena.
So, how are you doing today, Athena?
Yeah.
It's our sweetie. Anyway.
Oh.
Over and out.